Gift cards are an easy, convenient, and flexible shopping option for both gift givers and recipients. However, if anyone, no matter who it is, demands payment with a gift card, stop. It's a scam. Gift cards are for gifts. Do not use gift cards to pay the IRS, Social Security, tech support, a family member in trouble, ransom, or to keep your utilities on. Scammers impersonate government and law enforcement agencies, medical providers, financial institutions. They may even pose as charities, family members, or friends. They attempt to create a false sense of urgency, claiming you will lose benefits, that you will go to jail, or there's a medical emergency for a loved one, or that you will have serious computer problems. The list of scenarios goes on and on. If you don't hang up, they will keep pushing until they have you on the hook. Then they will request that you make payment by prepaid gift card to resolve the issue. Giving anyone you don't know money by gift card is like giving them cash. It cannot be traced, and you will not get your money back. Hang up on gift card scams. If you've become the victim of a gift card scam, visit DATCAP's website or contact us at DATCAP's Consumer Protection Hotline, 1-800-422-7128, or email us at datcphotline@wisconsin.gov to file a complaint. For more information and to find additional resources for consumers on the Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection website, visit us at www.datcp.wi.gov, where you can find detailed fact sheets on a wide variety of topics.